Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and in this video we're going to talk about how to do a nice small stage lighting rig for a band, a church, a DJ, anything like that. And in this episode, this video of this series, and we'll have a link to the playlist below for sure, we are going to talk about what do you do when you got no atmosphere? That's right. I know many of you are probably watching the previous videos and going, David, I don't have haze in the air. The venues I work at, they don't allow that, etc. And we get, watching the last through videos, watching like any concert. Okay, the impact that getting some atmosphere, some haze in the air is huge on a lighting rig, right? It does so much for your lighting. If there's any way you can do it, it's totally worth it, right? But sometimes you're playing, different local venues or what have you, and it's not possible some of the time, or it's not possible all of the time. In this video, I want to show you some tips and tricks for laying out your lighting that will really work for that, okay? So first and foremost, we're starting off basically with the same rig we had last time, a little bit different, okay? And I've added some walls and a ceiling into our venue. And so what we've got here is we basically shift the focus from putting lights behind the band to putting lights in front of the band, okay? Because if you think about it, these movers right here, we had these Gamma TX4s. We can go and we can hit our lead singer and we can put some patterns on him, and yeah, it looks all right, right? It looks okay. And that'll definitely be something we do during parts of the show or event or service, whatever you're having, okay? But when you don't have atmosphere, crossing the beams and doing different shapes and stuff in the air doesn't really have an impact, right? But what does is lighting the surfaces around you. Okay, so whether you've got the lights behind you on the sides like this, you can go and light the ceiling, for example. Say we've got 4 of these units. You can see here we can light different sections of the ceiling like that. That's a quick sloppy job. We grab them again, and we can change the colors as we go through the show. We can change the gobos. There's a prism in these lights, though. In this visualized, the prisms aren't 100% accurate. We can soften or sharpen that gobo. There's a lot you can do, and like here, I've just taken the lights and put up the ceiling. But we can totally go and go for the back wall, like so. We could totally go take them out over the audience in the ceiling, and spread them out a little. Not that much. And so there's a lot you can do. You really got to think, okay, even if you don't have a lot of space, there really is a lot you can do to make the space feel better. And then, of course, there's also the dance floor. So one thing I do a lot, and I have folks do, is if you're lighting a smaller stage, where's that second mover? There it is. And you've got a dance floor, take the space to light the dance floor. Like here, I just took 2 small movers, and the cool thing about dance floor lighting is it's often in the dark. So you can get by with a smaller mover, right? I've got my Gamma TX4s on the stage here, one of my favorites, great light. But one of my smaller movers, like the Eliminator Stealth Spots or the ADJ Pocket Pros, can work great in a darker audience space, right? And so right now they're able to light the audience, light the floor real good. We can go up and hit the ceiling somewhere. Where's the ceiling? We can go up and hit the ceiling. We can even hit the back wall with these guys. So there's a lot you could do. You can move them around, and still, when you need to, there's going to be times where you go, okay, we want to pop in and highlight a solo, right? Highlight the lead singer, highlight the keyboardist, the bassist, the drummer, whomever. You can move these around. You can really do a lot with them. And so that's my big recommendation too here is like, okay, if you're not going to have atmosphere, get some small movers, put them out front, because then, you're able to get some completely different looks by lighting the back wall, lighting the stage, lighting the dance floor, lighting the walls, lighting that audience area. changing it up with different gobo patterns. And of course I've got the prism in, and you can see you get a lot of different looks actually out of just a couple simple lights, right? And you can soften them, blah, blah, blah. A lot of good stuff there. Okay. Even if it's just, some DJ effect lights, you can turn those on and off, even if the DMX control is fairly simplistic, and you can really get a lot out of them, right, for your event. Other than that, this rig's pretty similar. So I've got my front lights still, my ADJ star bar washes on this. I've got these movers, these TXs from Gamma on the side. Maybe you start to mess around with more environmental lighting, like dropping up lights and stuff if you're doing a more like parties or corporate shows. There really can be a lot you can do. And my point here is use the surfaces around you when you can't use atmosphere, okay? Don't worry about setting up a big back truss. Setting up a big back truss with a bunch of lights on it. Maybe even just a couple of these strip light type lights at a low intensity behind the band, doing some color stuff, doing some pixelated stuff, maybe if you've got that level of control, can give you a really cool look, okay? Without any atmosphere in the air, okay? So lighting can still be cool without atmosphere. Just don't take the time and if you're not going to have atmosphere, I would say for the most part, save yourself the time and keep that backlight minimal, right? Maybe put some pars as the backlight, maybe. But don't go out putting like a huge truss on crank stands with all these movers on it as your back truss if you're not going to have atmosphere. Because ultimately, you're putting a lot of effort into a bunch of light that's not really seen that much. Instead, take those lights, put them on the side so they can light the band, the back wall, the audience, put them on the front corners of the stage so you can hit the audience, the band, the walls, get 3 or 4 different really good looks out of it, and you'll be golden. You'll be able to make some interesting lighting with your show and save yourself a lot of frustration in the process. Now, if you enjoyed these videos, including this one, check out the links below for all of the lights we talked about over on Learn Stage Lighting Gear, which is the place where, if you're new here, we help people get the gear they need. So fill out a quote request, we'll get you a personalized price. And if you're brand new to lighting, check out my free guide to begin with lighting, also linked below over at learnstagelighting.com. It's specific to your type of lighting, and it's going to help you get started and not make a lot of the mistakes that most people make when they're first starting with lighting, which waste money and time. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.